Welcome back, Flamingos. Today I'm going to talk about Disney Cruise and is it good for couples? Stick around to the end of the video and I'll answer a cruise related question. So in October of 2021, me and my husband decided to take our very first Disney cruise. What an experience that was. Let me tell you, it was in some ways so much better than I could have hoped for, and in some ways not quite what we expected. Me and my husband are both in our early 40s, and we did not bring any children, so this was a couples cruise for us. Full disclosure, I am the Disney nerd. I've grown up with Disney and I love Disney dearly. My husband, on the other hand, not so much. So he was very hesitant about going on this cruise to begin with, and I managed to sweet talk him into going. And this is kind of how our experience was. First off, our itinerary was a 4-night Halloween on the High Seas cruise. We chose this for a couple of different reasons. One is that we really love Halloween, and two, we thought the extra fun of the Halloween season might make our cruise a little more enjoyable for us. We were supposed to originally go to Nassau and Castaway Cay, but we ended up only doing Castaway Cay twice. We were pretty excited when we found out that we were going to get to do Castaway Cay twice. I was always really excited about visiting Disney's private island, and I was super ecstatic when I found out we got to do a back-to-back. So like so many others, I did lots of research before we finally went on to our Disney cruise. I spent hours upon hours researching Disney cruise any and every way that I possibly could. And I have to say, by the time we actually went on this cruise, because of the pandemic, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. However, I wouldn't say that it was a bad experience. We still got to watch all of the wonderful shows. We got to see Believe, which was phenomenal. I highly recommend it. My husband says that there was something in the air that night that made his eyes water. The other show we got to enjoy was the Beauty and the Beast live reenactment. It was amazing. Beauty and the Beast is hands down my personal favorite growing up as a kid. My husband did not care for this movie overall, but when he saw it on stage on The Dream, he was impressed and he really enjoyed the show. My husband overall was concerned that he may be too immersed in the Disney bubble. However, he was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't so much in his face. He can enjoy it as much or as little as he wanted. And he appreciated that as someone that's not as hardcore Disney as myself. On this cruise, we got to enjoy and try all 3 of Disney's rotational dining experiences. These were amazing. We had Animator's Palette, which was so much fun and so cute, but overall our least favorite of all the restaurants. We had Enchanted Garden, which I have to say is probably our favorite. We really enjoyed the menu there. And Royal Palace. Royal Palace was a treat in of its own. We were fortunate enough that we were seated right behind the main entertainment, and they had this wonderful woman playing the piano, and she was such a joy to listen to. You could tell that she enjoyed playing as much as I enjoyed listening. Overall, all 3 of the main dining rooms were overall a joy to be in and experience, and I highly recommend that anybody that goes try every one of them at least one night. We were also privileged to enjoy Pirate Night. Pirate Night was probably one of my favorite things, and my husband's too. I even convinced him to dress up. It was so much fun, enjoying getting to dress up and enjoying the pirate menu, and the fireworks over the ocean was pretty cool. I'd have to say the biggest disappointment on that trip was the reduced experience when it came to the Halloween event. They normally have like the tree that comes to life and they do stories, and they do trick-or-treating. They did not do that, and was a little bummed by that, but there were plenty of people that dressed up, and it was still a fun time, and I don't regret going. So one of the things that me and my husband appreciated the most on the whole cruise was the adult only area. We were really impressed with how nice of an area that was and how quiet it was. We spent a lot of time there. There weren't a whole lot of kids on the cruise to begin with because we were cruising during the pandemic and during in school time. So we were pretty fortunate overall as far as like being a couple trying to enjoy a couple's cruise. We did expect kids. We saw plenty of kids still, but it wasn't like we weren't drowning in it. So we were very happy overall with our experience. I would have to say one of the greatest perks of us going when we went that we would probably not get the opportunity to experience again unless we booked a cruise right now and went right now was the reduced capacity. I think that in itself really made the trip amazing. So many people have canceled cruises, and for good reason. I'm not shaming anybody for doing what they feel is right. But we decided to go because that cruise had been canceled and we were waiting over a year to go again, and we didn't want to wait anymore. And I'm so glad that we didn't, because even though it was a reduced experience, in some ways it was so enhanced. Low lines, no lines, hardly any wait for an elevator, not crowded at all. I wish more cruises could be like that on a regular basis. We were also fortunate enough to enjoy Paulo Brunch. And if you have done any research at all, that is the one thing that everyone raves about, and for good reason. Paulo was beautiful. The view was gorgeous. The food was spectacular. If you can manage, and I mean manage, because it was luck that we got a spot at all, and it was like at the end of brunch. Do it. Just pay the extra and do it. The food was so good, and what a wonderful way to enjoy some really special quality time in an elevated way with someone that you love. Highly recommended. And everything everybody talks about too, as far as the food goes, it's all good. I'm not gonna tell you, yes, order the chicken parmesan. Did I order it? Yes. Was it amazing? Absolutely. But I don't think there's anything on that menu that if it speaks to you, if it's something that you know you're gonna like it. So order it. Don't feel like you're missing out because maybe chicken parm's not your thing. That's cool. Order what is. I promise it's going to be delicious. Another thing we did on this cruise is we upped for a balcony. We'd not done a balcony before. We enjoyed the balcony. It was nice. The getting to wake up and just pull that curtain and see the ocean in the morning was a joy. And to sit out on the balcony with a glass of wine in the evening was a joy. The cabin itself was comfortable. It was clean. It was well appointed. And the bed was soft, but not too soft. And it was a full queen bed. It was a real bed. It wasn't like where they took two twins and squashed them together for us. It was so nice. The pillows and that blanket. I'm almost wishing it was cold on our cruise because that blanket was so luxurious and so fluffy. I wanted to snuggle up in it, but it was too warm. So overall, would I recommend Disney Cruise Line for couples? Well, for me and my husband, yes. For you and your travel party, I don't know. I think that if you like Disney even this much, just this much, you could have a good time. There is plenty to do, whether you're a Disney fanatic like myself or someone who is lovingly dragged into it like my husband. He enjoyed it enough that he said he's actually willing to go on another Disney cruise in the future, which brings me joy. And I was genuinely surprised because, again, he's not the biggest Disney fan. So I hope this helps. I hope this answers a question for you as of to whether or not Disney Cruise Line is right for you and your partner. I don't think that you would be sad you went. Is it expensive? Yes, it is expensive. But for us, it was worth it. Well, flamingos, you've made it to the end of the video. So here's the travel question for today. Should I have a passport to go on a cruise? Well, the short answer and my recommendation is yes. Because even though you can get away in a closed loop situation, and closed loop being you start in the States and end in the States, you can get away with a birth certificate. If for any reason you get off at a port or your ship was to go down or something crazy, and you are in another country, it is so much better to have a passport. It will make your life so much easier and save you so much headache. So my recommendation, get a passport if you plan on cruising. Until next time, flamingos, shake a tail feather.